Hello. Haven't did a video shot like this in a while. Let me see if my mic's on. Hopefully it is and people can hear me. Hello out there. James here. Just want to say hi out there today. And I wanted to make a video concerning, I saw recently, I was online and I was on a certain sector of YouTube, and I was checking out the sector that I've been doing a couple videos a while back on Dr. Umar Johnson. This was a while back. I haven't did a video on him in a long time. And I was thinking, I was looking at all these people that were doing videos about his recent event, about the block party and the thing with the wedding. And I've been watching people do videos constantly on this. And the people who done videos on this, they made excellent points. They had the receipts. They showed that the building hasn't been paid. They showed that the inside of the building hasn't been worked upon. They had all kind of evidence. Even from outside, other people were chiming in on the outside, and they had discussions about Umar Johnson. And I come to conclude, and then after seeing this past weekend, you see the amount of people that came out to support, and you see that his wedding with the two women, and I came to the conclusion, to the people who was trying to show that this man is not going to live up to his word, and trying to convince other people. I mean, what is the point? There's going to be some people who are going to look at him no matter what. I mean, here's a guy that, they showed in one of these videos that there was another guy that he gave a shout out to that did something horrendous to children, and he got like almost 3 or 4 decades in prison. And it was due to this cult like setting. And people follow that. People willing to go to greater lengths to follow somebody. And there's nothing you can do. I mean, pretty much you laid out the evidence. And if people going to keep falling for something, they're going to fall for it, no matter what. And now they show that it's been like over a decade since he got the money. Then it took about 2 or 3 years and he still haven't got to school. So my take on it is, if they're gonna keep giving him money and fund his vacation and fund this to keep tickling their ears, then that's on them. Then if the people who supporting them, that's on them. But it's on them. It's like, I know it. There's some people in this world, no matter what you do, you say about this person, they're gonna find something good in them. And even though that the evidence has showed, the videos have showed that he haven't paid taxes on the building, the area where the buildings is at is EPA, is not really good. It's in a bad neighborhood from what the other videos of other YouTubers like Land Honor and KKC and other and Afro Svengali show, and people still gonna fight you over that. Man, it's just to the point that some people is gonna believe stuff no matter what. Hold on 1 second. They're gonna believe that man no matter what. No matter what he do, the evidence that the man haven't really been up on his training, helping child development behavior with children, but yet people take adults. He got some knowledge in the past, and he has some knowledge, and then he takes the knowledge that he learned and took on a godlike complex instead of doing the right regular way as far as proper diagnosis. Almost the place where he worked at over a decade ago, he misdiagnosed no, some patients, and they end up having to fire him. And the people who support him, they didn't consider that. So he could be misdiagnosed or something and make the child worse. So if they gonna keep saying, if they want to believe in that, they're gonna see what they gonna see what the result is when if they send it be up on the Umar. I mean, sad enough that the child gonna have to suffer because their parents is believing in this fantasy land, and they're not really using logic and sense and looking at the and looking and doing research and background on what they say. Just because someone says something and they sound good, you should do your diligence and find out for yourself. I mean, and some people get on it, and people like Lennon Honor gets, he gets upset because he's a, bro, how can you out there have the women out there doing that work? And I'd be like, Lennon, it's their choice. If them old women want, they made a choice to go out there. No matter what you say, if you would have walked up in there and said, hey, confront Umar himself, them old women would have confront you themselves, because he got their mind that warp minded. He do. I mean, it's be honest. There's no sense of getting upset if they got some old elderly people out there. That's the choice that they made. They in their right mind. They know what they're doing. They want to believe in that hype and believe in tickling ears and stuff like that. That's why when it comes to some people in the black community, some politicians like a Joe Biden to Donald Trump can come along and just use someone to know how to hype them up and blow some smoke up their butt. And there's a segment of people going to believe it in the black community. They're going to believe no matter what. I mean, no matter, it's like with Joe Biden and everything. He's a perfect prime example of it. All he has to do is use someone like a Umar Johnson, and even though you see that his record that he's just about worse or more worse than Trump was. But there's always going to be some people that say, no, we got to vote Democrat. We got to vote him because Donald Trump is the devil. But no one ever considered that even if you take one to the other, they both had certain things in common. They both had a past of having not favored with black people. No one ever look at that. But people are so obsessed with looking at Democrat, Republican, instead of looking at the individuals represent, and it's on both sides. No matter it's the point that, look, it don't matter if you was an educated black person or you was a black person that with least education. The point is you're black, So we got to do something with your people and take a segment portion of your people and dump and do these experiments with them. Let them be the face of debauchery, and we can get 3/4 of you off into the grave and get another 3/4 of you in the jail. They're fine, and that's as far as they can keep showing you, so people don't want to be associated with you. And this came from both sides of the tracks. But people are so, and then you got some black people who there's some of us that intelligently sit down and analyze and say, damn, it don't matter if you come from the left or the right. And there's some of us that got the sense, that you got some of us that they so stuck on one thing, they stuck in one area, and no matter what you do, until it happens to them something personally, that's when all hell breaks loose. But when it comes to the Western society, when it comes to black people, we individualism, and it's so individual. It really is. And it's really come down as long. I'll play this part, but really I'm about myself, about my surroundings. And even though that you're one of the as far as on the economic status in every area of education, healthcare, and everything. You low on the status. You low on it, and it doesn't matter because when you get jocked by the cops, no one's looking at your sexual orientation. No one's trying to figure if you're transgender or transsexual, or there's nobody looking at you and say, "Ooh, there's a gay person over there." They see you as your color. This is what all people. Some black people don't understand that on both sides of the track. They don't care. I mean, people see, they see, and when they see the image, what they see on the news and what they see on TV of some black person carjacking or robbing somebody, they put that image in their head, and no matter what society or what nationality of people will look at the American black people, some of us, like we're the criminals. And even though that we know all of us ain't criminals, it's just that there's a certain segment of people, no matter what you do. And so this is funny, and it goes back to saying among our own people, you got some people that did some raunchy things in among black people on mainstream, that's coming through mainstream social media, that is popular in the black side of the media, and they did some raunchy things like a brother Polite, and who followed this one guy named Malachi York. That, you know what I'm saying? And despite what they do, despite that that there's evidence that it was actual news and actual coverage that this person actually did this, with testimony come from a person and had the evidence, they're gonna still think that there's gonna be a segment of black people that's gonna believe no matter what. They're gonna still stick with that, stick with the power. Forget about the perversion. Just stick with the power. But we just black. We black and black. That's all. We forget that person is a womanizer. He's a narcissist. That could potentially be a child molester. I mean, forget that. But he's black. No, I think it's a conspiracy. So what can you do? So some people are just blind. And I would say, and I know when it comes to the anti-fraud warriors, I know you're frustrated, but it is what it is. I mean, you just got some people among black people are just plain, they just warped. Just like any other nationality group of people, just like you would see what happened, let's say back in the 90s with David Koresh or Jim Jones. No matter what you would tell those people, there were people that were willing to follow him to the grave, because he has that mind. He used his words, and it's like, yeah, they got to believe it, and they got them so warped out that they can paint a picture. And this is pretty much what, like, Umar got the same kind of effect on people. And even though you didn't show the evidence, you didn't show the paperwork, you done pulled up the website, the actual website of the courthouse, showing the taxes and the insurance and the bill, and showing the evidence from video from people that's trying to help them. And don't think that there was some people who opposed your video have looked at it and looked at it and looked at it, and they just get tired. Why does he keep obsessing with it? And I understand what Lennon Arnold trying to do, and KKC and other people trying to do, but you just gonna have to remember, there's gonna be some people, no matter what, they're gonna despise you until something happens, and if they want to keep saying, "Oh yeah, don't." I mean, sound kind of sarcastic. No, don't wake me up. No, don't let me keep living in this fantasy world that we're gonna have this so-called utopia society, what Umar tells them to do, and that really is funny. He keeps telling them, but he has not made, and we see that no one has made no effort with the school, but he keeps pumping their head up and trying to indoctrinate every culture that has got melanated skin. And we know that there's difference among the melanated skin as far as culture, lifestyle, and everything else, because people in different parts of the world, it's not just because it look similar to you, may not have a similar. There's a tribalistic mentality, and that's just the way people are, because They're tribalistic because the area where they grew up. They're tribalistic because the language that they speak and the culture that they're in. And that culture got them thinking the way that they are. So my thing is this, is just that, and it's the same thing go. And it's just because someone shares your skin color, they don't look at, it's funny, it's crazy enough, they don't understand that. There's some people that come to, that think that they never experienced racism. And it's hard to believe it. And even though you can show it to them on TV, you can show it to them being colonialism, there's some people that are, they will support the colonial, that will look at the people who that are racist, the individual who are racist, out of that people as if like they're gods. I mean, it's a fact. I mean, it was when that when the Queen of England husband died. You had a group of people that were from an island. It was the Pygmy tribe, and they were literally looking at. Now here, this guy goes over. He insults the Asian culture. He criticized the African culture, but you got this Pygmy culture over here putting him as a god simply because he has white skin. I mean, it is what it is. So there's gonna be some people like that that's gonna look at someone in that reference. So, but but get back. What I'm saying is, no matter what you do, I mean, it's a waste of time with some people. Some people, if they want to keep supporting Umar's lifestyle, and they after you laid out the evidence online, and they still want to believe it, it's on them. If them old women want to get up there and practically get out there in the cold and try to paint an abandoned building with mold and asbestos in it, it's on them. And they not really think about because he got them so hyped up. It's on them. There's nothing you can. There's nothing you can do. And pretty sure they come to the videos because and there's some that troll your videos and stuff. They know the truth. They don't. They just some people that will fight you to believe because some people they love conflict and they want to argue. They want to try to prove you that you're wrong, even though you can lay out the evidence, lay out the actual evidence. They will see things and they will still try to fight you. So I would say this, man. I mean, I crack up, man, when I see it sometimes. Like, wow, these people are really dense. They keep sending money to a man who keeps telling them one thing, but hasn't really laid out a blueprint like the other people who, like Tariq Nasheed, at least he did lay out the blueprint on this is how much money we got to have to build the museum. I mean, at least he laid out the blueprint. Umar didn't even lay out the blueprint. I mean, at least if you got a Jason Black, he gonna tell you what he's trying to do, but you got other people that won't even show you that. But because they believe in the hype, and you have someone like a brother Polite, trying to make a name around the country, selling false training ideas and real estate ideas, claiming businesses that he don't have. And people falling for it. And first he's pro-black, then he's conscious, then he's Kemet, then he turns around